Hey, it's John with Vision Advisor, and welcome to another Insight with Vision. We're still talking about the secrets of the top 5%. They're selling strategies that help make them successful. And in strategy number 4, we want to talk about the power of follow-up. So I want you to think about this. You've invested in some marketing and you've got somebody to raise their hand. They've said, hey, I'm interested. Well, sorta, maybe. At least they've raised their hand to ask an additional question, and you've got them to say yes at least once. So the big question that you've got to answer is, what's next? What do you do now once that someone has initially responded in some manner to an advertisement or marketing campaign that you've put out into the marketplace? We first need to understand how the brain works, because if we understand how the brain works, we want to make sure that we don't short circuit the process of keeping the brain in motion and going through a known analytical process that the brain goes through to make an emotional decision and then a logical validation of facts and information to support moving forward or not moving forward. At the moment they've said yes to your initial marketing campaign or advertising campaign that you put out there, they've essentially said, hey, I'm interested in learning more, but I may not be convinced that you are the person that can actually solve my problem. What's going on in the client's head is a journey. Every consumer goes through a set of decision-making processes that we call the consumer buying journey. We've talked about that in a prior version of Insight, and it's available on our YouTube channel if you want to go check that out. But whether your client is buying a pack of gum or they're buying a Lexus, they're going to go through the same steps in the decision-making process to arrive first at an emotional decision and then to validate that information with facts and figures. Now, along the way, they're going to have some detours to have an opportunity to get off the road to saying yes. And if they take a detour early, they're going to end up saying no to your offer. So your job, once you've got them on the hook and they've initially raised their hand to say yes the first time, you've got to keep them on the hook until you can reel them in and get them to say yes and yes over and over until you actually have an appointment set and an opportunity to present your value proposition to them. So the goal is to get them to say yes one more time. Now, they've already said yes when they responded to your marketing. They raised their hand and they said, I'm interested. I'd love to learn more. And the big question we've got to answer is, how do we get them to do that again? Now, this is an important question because this is where most producers fail in their marketing campaigns, is they fail in the follow-up. Now, why is that the case? Because if you're like most producers, you stink at marketing. You don't understand that your primary responsibility in your business is to be a marketer, to be telling your story of who you are, what you do, and how you uniquely do it, and the problems that you solve for clients over and over every day. You're an insurance agent or a stockbroker or an investment advisor represented second to the fact that you're a marketing person. And if you don't get that, you're in the wrong business, because you're going to starve if you just see yourself as an insurance agent, an investment advisor, a stockbroker, or a financial professional. Number one, first and foremost, you've got to be the marketer. You've got to be the cheerleader for your organization. Now, here's an interesting number I want you to think about, and that's the number 2. Because according to industry averages, the average producer, investment advisor, representative, stockbroker, whatever you call yourself, the average financial professional will engage in 1 to 2 follow-ups with a lead that comes in the door. If somebody raises their hand, it's typically a follow-up email, a postcard, a letter, and maybe 1 follow-up phone call, maybe 2 follow-up phone calls if you're really good. But here's what we know from consumer buying behavior. The vast majority of people that are going to ultimately respond to an initial inquiry to learn more about you requires a minimum of 5 to 8 unique follow-up touches. And if you are not engaging in a process of having a minimum of 5 to 8 follow-ups with someone who initially raises their hand and says, hey, I'm interested, tell me more, then your ability to close those individuals is substantially limited. Remember, we said 95% of your marketing fails. This is one of the reasons it fails, is a lack of follow-up. So here's a question I want to pose. How much money do you think you waste every single month because you don't have a follow-up process? How much money did you lose in 2019, in 2018, 2017? How much money did you lose this year in 2020 at the time this is being recorded? How much money did you waste because you don't have a proven, consistent follow-up system that makes sure that you've got a minimum of 5 to 8 unique touches? Now, what are we talking about by a follow-up process? Well, number one, it's the offer. What are we talking about by the offer? You've given them a reason to say yes one time. You've put out a marketing campaign, an advertisement, an invitation to access something that you're offering, and someone has raised their hand and says, I'm interested in your offer. Now, that offer could be a white paper. It could be a book offer if you've written a book. It could be an invitation to a webinar or a seminar, or it could be some other means for them to engage with you in some manner. Now, once they've initially engaged in the offer, then step two has to be the fulfillment of that offer. You need to make sure that whatever that client has requested, whether it's a white paper, a book, access to a webinar, or an invitation to a seminar, make sure that you promised what you provided. If it's a white paper, give them the ability to download it. If it's an on-demand event, give them a link to where they can hear you in a pre-recorded session. If it's a live event, make sure that they know what's going on and the appropriate follow-ups to get them to actually attend. And if it's a white paper or a book, something that can be delivered digitally, go the extra step and also deliver it through postal mail. Making sure that they've gotten what was promised and that they have the ability to not only see it online, but touch it and feel it goes a long way to adding value and engaging in what we've talked about previously in another Insight episode, the law of reciprocity. Now, the third step is to make sure that you are going to follow up like it's life or death. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, every lead that you have expended money to get is an opportunity to add life to your business by bringing the income in that keeps it alive. If you fail to capitalize on those leads, that can ultimately lead to the death of your business. So you need to have an automated process that you follow like clockwork. And you can actually set this up where much of this is already done for you using technologies that are available today. And remember, you need a minimum of 5 unique touches. Now, that doesn't mean 5 phone calls or 5 emails. Those are not unique. You've got to mix up the touches so that you make sure you're touching them in multiple areas, because they may not see an email, but they may get a postcard. They may get a voicemail from you, or they may not listen to it. So again, a minimum of 5 touches to engage them. The preference is 8. So let me share with you a template that you can use as an idea for building an automated process. Let's assume that you are using a white paper to invite a client to engage with you. Maybe it's a white paper you've gotten from us here at Vision Advisors, or maybe it's something that you've written yourself that you're offering to educate or inform clients in some way about a topic that is important to them. Well, as soon as somebody engages with you and says, I want that white paper, I want that book, I want access to that webinar or seminar, number one, immediately send an email confirmation complimenting them on their initial step of taking action to get the information that you needed. The messaging in this email needs to reinforce the fact that they responded because something in your offer spoke to a pain point in their life. And you need to reinforce the fact that what you're going to share with them is the first step in making that pain go away. Now, the second step, which would be the same day as the email confirmation goes out, or 24 hours later, making sure that you mail them a personalized thank you letter or a card, not a postcard, but a real thank you card like you would pick up at Hallmark or some other store where cards are available. And in this thank you letter, you want to hand write a note thanking them for taking action. Again, reminding them why they responded and how you are going to help make that pain go away. And in that communique, make sure that you provide a means for them to contact you. Maybe it's a business card. Maybe on your business card, there's a link to your Calendly access point. Now, what is Calendly? If you haven't used it, Calendly.com allows you to set up a link that you can share with clients and prospective clients where they can actually go in and schedule time on your calendar to do a strategy call or to meet with you. And you can specify in that what type of meetings they can set up. This is a powerful way to give clients access to your calendar so that they can schedule time that's convenient for them. Now, we've looked at the immediate step once they said, yes, I've raised my hand, I want what you offer. Same day or next day, making sure that you've got a thank you card going out. Step 3, which would be 2 days after step 2, you want to make a phone call. If you don't get them to answer, leave a message. The purpose of the call is to confirm that they were able to access your offer. If it was a download, that they could download it. If it was something you were going to email them, make sure that they got the email and they were able to open it and access whatever it was that you sent. Or if you mail them something, you want to confirm that what you mail them actually arrived. And if it hasn't yet, to encourage them to be on the lookout for that. In that message or that conversation with them, you want to let them know that if you have questions that they would like you to answer, then you need to be able to give them a phone number or a way to contact you. Again, your Calendly link can be a great way to do that, or leaving an office phone number, or both. You can also offer a complimentary review and give them an opportunity to engage with you in a next step. Now, after this event, what happens next? 3 days after event 3, you're going to send an email reminder letting them know what you do and how you do it and how you've helped other people just like them solve this particular problem that you spoke about in your offer. Now, if you're able to share testimonials, this is a great time to share some third-party testimonials from clients that you have actually worked with and the benefit that they have seen from working with you. And again, share your Calendly link or a phone number and give them an opportunity to schedule a conversation with you so you can talk about how you can help them experience similar results to what you helped your other clients do. Now, 3 days after this particular outbound email, you want to have a follow-up phone call, following up on the email that you just sent, letting them know what you do, how you do it, offering your link one more time, and again, offer to meet them for coffee and a donut. Maybe it's brunch or lunch. Be willing to invest some money to engage with this client and to have a conversation. 3 days after that, if you still haven't set an appointment, then you want to send a postcard, a physical postcard. Oversized is better, 5.5 by 8.5 oversized postcards. We've got a number of messages at Vision you can use, and we can help you design some postcards around that as well, reminding them one last time why they responded to the pain point that you were addressing and how you can uniquely help them solve that issue. Then after that, you want to immediately add them to your monthly newsletter or your automated email communication list. And then you want to continue regular communication with them by email or newsletter or both until they die or they ask to be removed. You want to make sure you're communicating with them at least once a month. Now, those are 8 simple touches over about a 10-day period of time that gives you an opportunity to close 40 to 60% more of the leads that come in the door than you might otherwise close if you followed that 1 to 2 simple follow-up step process that most financial professionals use. Now, it's important to remember that 80% of those individuals who will respond once they've taken the initial action step to say, hey, I'm interested, they will not take action to set an appointment with you until they've received a minimum of 5 unique touches. This is part of that cultivation process of allowing them to get to know you, like you, and trust you so that they feel comfortable and confident that you can actually help them solve their problem. Now, if you say, John, this is not for me, then just continue to pour your money down the drain and take the money you're spending on your leads and throw them away. But we think there's a better solution, and that's what we're here to help you with. So let me ask you a question. Isn't it time you started working with a marketing-focused IMO who's investing with you? That's what we do here at Vision Advisors every single day. We work with men and women just like you who are passionate about what they do. want to have an opportunity to uniquely position themselves in the marketplace to be able to get in front of more of their ideal prospect, the individuals that they desire to work with the most. And we do that in such a unique way that it virtually eliminates competition and it gives you an opportunity to become extremely attractional to your clients. Hey, if this is of interest to you or you're just looking for an illustration for life insurance, annuities, or long-term care, we're here to help. You can reach us at 1-800-505-8489, or you can go to visionadvisorsinc.com. That's our website. Scroll to the bottom of the page, and you can actually schedule a strategy call with one of our business consultants. We don't know your availability, but because we put our calendars online, you can actually schedule time with us based upon your availability. While you're there, let me encourage you in the upper right-hand corner of our website to check out our Facebook, our LinkedIn, and our YouTube channel. Make sure you follow and like those because we share amazing training just like this that we update every single week on our YouTube channel, and we share conversation starters, intelligence, resources, and ideas on Facebook and LinkedIn on a daily basis to give you a reason to engage and have a conversation with your clients. I'm John Terry with Vision Advisors. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day.